So let's proceed with the next question, guys. It's given x is greater than 2, y is greater than 0, and we have to compare 2x minus 3y and x square, right? So let's assume that this number is greater than this, right? Let's assume that this number is greater than this. So that means if this number is greater than this number, right? So 2x should be greater than x square. Does this make sense to you? Tell me one thing, if this number is greater than this, right? And from this element, from this number, if we are subtracting something, and if it is still greater than this, then obviously this should be greater than this, right? So under this assumption that this number is greater than this, 2x should be greater than x square, right? So if we solve this, so this comes out to be x square minus 2x is less than 0. X minus 2 is less than 0, right? In the previous question, I've told you, not in the previous, but in a few questions before, I've told you how to solve this. So what we do is that we make this 0. So x is equals to 0 will be 0. This, if this 0, so x minus 2 is equals to 0, so x equals to 2, right? And we make it like this. So plus minus plus, right? Now since this is less than 0, so we will take this one, the negative sign. So that means x belongs to 0, 2. This means that x has a value which is between 0 and 2, right? But in the question, it is given that x is greater than 2. So it can be 2.1, 2.4, 2.1, 2, 3, 400, 1000, whatever. But it will be greater than 2. But over here, under this assumption that this number is greater than this, the value of x comes out to be between 0 and 2. It can be 1.999, but it should be between 0 and 2. Which is wrong, because in the question it is given that x is greater than 2. So this is not possible. If this is not possible, that means the assumption is wrong, which means this number is greater than this number is wrong, like the assumption is wrong, which means this number is greater than this. So that means your answer becomes B, right? So this is the first part, how you can solve it. If you want me to solve it through some other way, so you can also solve it through this way, right? So for example, we have to compare these two numbers, right? So let's suppose we subtract this and this. So x square minus 2x minus 3y, right? X square minus 2x minus 3y. So if you solve this, so x square minus 2x plus 3y, you take x common, so x minus 2 plus 3y, right? Now, since we know x is greater than 2, so that means it is positive, right? So this part is positive. Now x is greater than 2, this means x minus 2 will be greater than 0. So this part will also be positive, right? Since y is greater than 0, that means 3y will also be greater than 0 or positive, right? So positive, positive plus positive, that means the entire thing will be positive. I think that should be clear, right? So what I did was that I subtracted this and this and I received positive. For instance, if there are two numbers b and c, right? And if you subtract c minus b and it comes out to be positive or greater than 0, that means c is greater than b, right? Similarly, I subtracted this and it turns out to be positive. It means this number is greater than this. So that means the answer is B again. So whichever way you like, you can pursue that. So these are the two ways on how you can approach this question. Okay.